Hey everyone, welcome to today's live stream. It is September the 11th, 2023. Hope you're doing great. And voila, we have a new website launched. We've got a few things that we still need to tweak, but we're excited to share with you our new site. A lot of hard work has gone into this site. And, oh, where'd the site go? Hold on one second. Hold on, hang in there. Okay, there we go. A lot of hard work has gone into this, so I want to thank my team. They're awesome. And there are a few tweaks that still need to be made, and we will make those today or tomorrow. So I'll bring to your attention a few things to look out for that are not quite correct as of right now. But again, we will get those tweaked and updated for you. Before I do that, I want to bring to your attention a few things regarding, now I'm not going to do a deep dive into the site today because tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to go live and go through the website. So I hope you can make that. I'll put the link. I sent out an email to everyone last Thursday, and I'll put the link. Probably send another one out today just as a reminder, but regardless, I'll put the link in the live stream box in the chat box for today as well. And you can sign up 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It'll be about a 45-minute call. All right, let's go through. Feel free to run through. It's a few tweaks that we did. If you remember back the initial website, we had that welcome message on the home screen. And it basically asked, what would you like to do today? And it gave you options, right? Do you want to pick stocks? Do you want to look at winning stocks? Stocks that we suggest for you, working with the PA, going to our stock forum, or if you just want to select a winning stock, which is our magic stock selector. So we actually brought that back. We're showing it to you slightly differently here, but these are just quick links to get you to where you want to go. If you're not interested in any of that, you just want to go, I just want to see what's going on in the market today. Just want a little bit of a feel for the direction it's heading in. Then we've got video links up top that you can have a look at. We've listed the sentiment of this particular video. Some are positive, neutral. You'll see some negative as well. But there's a Bloomberg negative article there. And yeah, just take a look and see. Just check it out. We've got the the latest social alerts regarding companies that are being talked about and followed on Twitter. I think we have to change that little Tweety bird to the X, right? I guess it's changed now to X. But then we show the top ranked news. This is probably one of the most important sections here when you first come to the site, because it allows you to look at, what's going on for the week. You can click through. We've got all of the news from the big players, Zacks, Forbes, Barron's. Just to give you an idea, Market Watch, what's going on in the market, in the economy. Look at this Tesla. Big move today on Tesla, up 10% on Tesla. Nice move. Many of you own it. Hope you still own it. You've been richly rewarded today for Tesla. All right, so let's go to, I wanted to bring up a couple things that we're seeing, themes that we're seeing in the marketplace, and that is tighter credit, higher credit card debt for people. And, that will eventually play out. We'll see how it plays out. I don't believe in this. The Fed is going to ease rates anytime soon. I think they're going to continue to raise rates well into 2024. And if you have debt, that's an issue, right? Do your best. I've been saying this for years now. Do your best to get your debt down to next to nothing. I want to give, before I dive into this next part, I want to give a shout out to our dear friend Nola Peacock. Nola got married yesterday and really wish I could have been there. The only reason I wasn't there was my in-laws are moving, and Stacy and I have been over there for days and days helping them move. It's a big move. They've been in their property for 35 years, and it's an acreage with a lot of outbuildings, and it's a beautiful property. But they were really firmly entrenched in there. You know what I'm saying? So we've been there for days and days and days. Stacy is still there today helping with the move, and it's pretty much all hands on deck, right? When you have elderly parents and they need the assistance. So anyway, Nola, I'm so sorry I missed you and Ron's wedding. I'm sure it was amazing, and I wish you many, many, many decades of joy, fun, and laughter together. God bless you both. You're awesome. All right, let me get back to where I was headed for today's call, and that is, I think there's an opportunity for you to look at a sector that is thriving, growing, like unbelievable, and that is like I call it personal entertainment. Streaming content for you. So the two of the big players are Roku and Netflix. And I wanted to give you I wanted to show you how I personally assess companies as I look, and I'm going to show you what I look at, and I've done this in the past, and I've gotten really great feedback on this type of approach. I know many of you are highly accomplished investors, which is great. And there are also many of you that want to learn, right? There are things that you're interested in learning. So this is a space that I think is going to continue to remain strong. I think, as we see, Netflix earnings were posted recently. Roku's recently had a big move in both of these stocks. So now we look at, do you buy both? Do you just buy one? If it's one, which one? And I don't think you need to buy both. I think these are, you're going to see some similar moves in these stocks. So then we look at which is the one that's priced the best, right? What's the most value that you can find? So the first thing, as you know, we go to the annual chart. This chart will look very similar to what our old site looked like. We maintain that, and we just ask ourselves, is the stock moving up? Right? Netflix clearly is moving up, has been moving up for the last year, has had an incredible move the last year, gone from 236 to where it is today, 445. So that's the first test. That's great. Roku has had a little bit of a harder time this year, still in the upward trajectory, moving up, but started a year ago at $72 and today sitting at $84. So still a 20% move, but not quite as great as Netflix. So then we ask ourselves, is Netflix going to double again, or is there opportunity with Roku? Roku is, as you can see, sitting at $84.81. It's a 5-star stock. Now, you all know 5 stars in our system is a buy rating, right? Very important. Netflix isn't. That's a 4 stars. And by the way, what I do is, if you've noticed, I just have 2 different browsers open with Sterling Stock Picker, and I'm toggling back and forth to make this a little bit easier. So we recognize that Netflix is 4 stars average risk. Roku is 5 stars above average risk. Most of you, I believe, are able to take on a little bit of risk, right? Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be in this platform. So Roku as a buy and Netflix as a buy at a specific price. All right, a couple things that you're going to see that are different is this feature here, the button, the little stock alert button. That is everywhere you see this card, North Star Guidance card, right there. Everywhere you see this card, you're going to see the little bell. I notice icon, and you can set a price for it, a notification. So let's say you're wanting the price to go a little bit higher or lower. That's an option too. If you think, well, it's going to pull back, hopefully it'll pull back, I'll buy it at 80. Then you would set a price target, and then you would click the alert methods. Do you want us to notify you via the app, which I'll talk about in a moment, or do you want us to email you? So just whatever you're thinking, you can set those alerts. And then all you have to do is come over to here under the bell notifications, and you will see all of the alerts here. I have one for Zoom I created 2 years ago almost. I set it for 500, never did reach that price target. But they'll pop up here, and then this is how we'll send it to you, SMS, text, or excuse me, through the app or email. Okay, let me go back to the stock. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out that's vastly different than our old system. Before, you had to go to your portfolio and then create an alert. No longer. You can do it right here. All right, so let's look at, insider activity isn't always a perfect metric, but it's a decent one. And we've got nearly 70%, 69.01 insiders buying the stock versus 30 selling. So 2/3 buying, 1/3 selling. That's a decent metric there. Revenue growth. Now, stocks trade in line with their revenue. So as long as you see revenue growing with the company, that's a really good sign. And before I get too far ahead in the metrics, let's compare it to Netflix. Netflix, we do not have a ranking for insiders, so we can skip that, but we always have it for revenue growth. Now, Netflix is lower, 3%. So that's one thing to consider. 3% growth versus Roku at 11. All right, let's look at earnings. Very important to start looking at earnings, and you know what, let's go quarterly. So Roku, we're looking at first quarter of this year, 7.4 billion was revenue. Earnings was a negative, let's see how many zeros are, 193 million, negative 193 million. So their growth in their revenue is fantastic, in terms of the numbers. Now, quarter over quarter, we don't ever analyze that. We always go year over year. So once we see this next column appear, we'll be able to make a more intelligent analysis of a year over year. Actually, let me just scroll down. So we do have second quarter numbers for 2023. And the closest we can compare them to is third quarter 2022. We've got minus $1.26 per share was the estimate. Actually came in at minus 76 cents. So a huge positive plus. And that's why recently Roku had such a big day last week. That's why it was up tremendously. So really outshined in terms of their earnings. Very, very strong. Way better than previously anticipated. Let's go to Netflix and take a look. We've got their second quarter numbers. Wow, 8.1 billion. Let me make sure I'm right there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it'd be helpful if they had commas in these numbers. 8.1 billion for revenue. Positive earnings. Let's see what that is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.4 billion. I mean, these companies are printing money. Huge, huge. So even though you've got a stock at $445 a share. It's just about doubled in the past 12 months. Even though the growth rate is only at 3%, revenue growth rate is at 3%, it looks like it could very well be a better buy than Roku. So this is tricky. Early in the call, I said, well, you may not have to buy both. But actually, in this case, after the analysis that we just did, oh, and let's look at the MFI. We're sitting at 58 for Roku and for Netflix 79. Okay, so what I would do and what I have been doing is I love Netflix. I've been buying Netflix for a very long time. So I'll always continue to add to Netflix. But what this call is showing me, so I wouldn't do that here. I would not do it at an MFI of 79. That's too high. I like this range that we're suggesting, this buy between 431.79 and 440.69. I would set a target closer to this. So what you would do is you click the notification, and let's say 435 is when you want to be notified that that's a fair price in your mind. It's squarely in between this range to add more or to initially buy it. But Roku, folks, you're sitting at the MFI sitting at 58. That's in the sweet spot. The stock is $84 a share. I don't think you can go wrong picking up shares of Roku at this level. So I hope this was helpful. I hope to see you all tonight on the live call for us to go, for me to demonstrate the new platform and to show you the changes that we've made. And again, I will put the link in the comment section for this particular call. And actually, you know what? I think I'm going to mail it. I'm going to email it to you again so that you can join the call tonight. Hope to see you tonight. Thanks so much for all your support. We're on to bigger and better things. Oh, and the app. Yikes, dare I forget the app. We are, and I know I've been saying it for a year and a half. Thank you for your patience. We are so close to going live with the app. We're going to take it for one more test run to make sure that it's exactly how it needs to perform for you all, and then we'll launch it. So fingers crossed in the next couple weeks. Thanks again. Talk soon.